city ministers as for protocol. Behind me is Barrister Colonel Paul Umera, the former military governor of Kogi State. And beside him is architect Reverend Victoria Ono. She is the proprietor of Grace Nursing Home, the only nursing home.
The Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, your ministry, and I'm pleased to engage with you this afternoon. As you are aware, this ministry was established in August 2019 with the mandate of developing humanitarian policies, coordinating national and international humanitarian interventions, while ensuring strategic disaster mitigation, preparedness and response, as well as the implementation of fair, focused social inclusion and protection systems in the country. As one of the key vulnerable groups, our elder citizens are of primary concern to us. Therefore, we do all we can to ensure we carry you along with all the programs of the ministry as it relates to you. You recall that during the lockdown, we were able to provide palliatives to various groups of our older citizens at an event in Kaohsiung. I would like to say that this ministry will continue to engage you as individuals and groups to ensure we support you and make life easier for you as individuals who have lived their lives for the support and service of the nation during your prime age and your productive years. We will continue to tap into your wealth of experience. I can see most of you don't do these older citizens. I'm sure it's just a name because you all look very active. And I'm sure you still have a lot to offer to the country with your vast experiences. So you may recall that there's already a law establishing this body. You are quite aware of that, which is the National Senior Citizen Center. And this ministry is working towards the establishment and successful takeoff of that center. As a matter of fact, I had already submitted the memo to His Excellency Mr. President, and we are awaiting approval very soon. When this center is established, among other things, have the following functions I would like to mention here, which is to identify the needs, trainings, and opportunities for senior citizens, 2, provision of recreational, sports, educational, health, and social programs, as well as facilities designed for the full enjoyment and benefit of our senior citizens. And 3 is to initiate, develop productive activities and work schemes for senior citizens. I assure you the take-up of this center will be soon, pretty soon. Once again, I welcome you and thank you for coming, despite the very short notice that we gave yesterday. I just felt that I should have a one-on-one with you. We've never met, and here I am pursuing the course, and I need to really see you and hear from you. In fact, my attention was drawn to the fact that I have submitted the memo. I have to also submit the composition for the center, and I felt it would be fair to just go ahead and compose names without meeting with you, interacting with you, and getting your own inputs into the whole process. So once again, welcome to your ministry, and I will now listen to you. Thank you very much. After the carry shift, we will send in requests to be able to meet you.
and we have not had that privilege, but we're happy that at your own instance, we're here today. In fact, you will permit me to read a letter we had written in appreciation, and we've addressed that letter to you, Ma, and we said, we write to sincerely appreciate your Honorable Minister for your kind cooperation and support to our association, the Coalition of Societies for the Rights of Older Persons in Nigeria, the umbrella aging organization in Nigeria. We want to thank you for involving us in the flag off of palliative distribution at Karishi and giving us the opportunity to deliver 100 palliative sets to homes of older persons in the FCT. Please find attached the palliative distribution report to these 100 homes, and we'll submit that to your staff. We also wrote in our letter, the Coalition of Societies for the Rights of Older Persons in Nigeria hereby thanks you, the Honorable Minister, your Permanent Secretary, and your Social Development Department for approving our organization's registration with your ministry as partner in the issues affecting older persons in Nigeria. Whilst appreciating this gesture, we want to pledge our association's promise to work closely with the humanitarian ministry. Nigerian older persons are facing a myriad of problems, but we believe with your ministry's partnership, some of these challenges will be resolved. Thank you, Honorable Minister, for your support and cooperation. Please accept our assurances of our highest regard. This is one of the letters we'll be dropping today. If you permit me, Ma, because we came with 2 letters. The second letter is like, well, let me read it, Ma. Request for financial assistance subvention to support our programs. We write to solicit for your kind support to fund part of our numerous programs in support of older persons, awareness creation and protection from COVID-19 in view of the highest death rates associated with older persons across the length and breadth of this country during this pandemic. Our members are engaged in various support activities and programs throughout this country, such as production and airing of various types of jingles, awareness creation in different communities, palliative and credit airtime top-up to older persons so that they will not feel lonely, they can communicate. We are also currently planning various segregated campaign outreaches on COVID-19 NCD protection protocols to chairmen of Okada riders, leaders of market women, religious leaders, and some schools. It is our intention to build old people's recreational center in various communities across Nigeria. We have initiated such a pilot program in Kwamba community of Suleja, who at the moment are trying to provide the land for the project. We are also planning a medical outreach to the community. We hereby solicit for fund support for these programs. We'll also send our reports on the outcome of these programs to your office. We have also designed a project for the enumeration of older persons in Nigeria. We ran into problems because of the magnitude of the cost for enumerating this, because we have consultants whom we have worked together, put a proposal together, but the fund is not there. We need subvention to carry out programs since no fund comes to aging and senior citizen issues. We look forward to your ministerial support. These are 2 letters we had brought to deliver the Honorable Minister. We want to thank you for this opportunity. There are 1 or 2 other issues that we know is pending, one of which is the national policy on aging. We had completed that policy when Women Affairs were in charge of older persons. And it had gone to their policy meeting in Ekiti, and they had validated it at that meeting. So we're still awaiting the release of that policy and its implementation, and that is one of the areas we would like you to look into. We are very happy today that you have called us and you have on your own mentioned your plans to implement the National Senior Citizen Center Act 2017. We had been concerned, and we know that it is something that is domiciled in your ministry at this time. And I can assure you, our members will cooperate with you, and everything that you require us to do, we will be willing to do that. I will just mention to you a program in Kwamba community. They are trying to secure land. It is something that could be similar to this, but this one is a recreational center, which we believe that if older persons can have a place they can gather in the day and talk with themselves. I give you an example. My mother is 102 years old, and each time she comes to live with me in Abuja, my mother does not speak English or Hausa or Yoruba. She only speaks Igbo. But when she comes out to my gate and sits with the security, I see her laughing and talking, and by the time she comes into the house, she's happier. So we want a place where older persons can go in the day, like a daycare, and when they go there, they interact with fellow old people. We could provide restaurants there, a daycare, to treat anyone who is sick, but in the evenings, their children will carry them to. What is happening now is that it's part of what we call the abuse of the older persons. When our parents come to our houses, we lock them up when we are going to work. We put on the TV for them. We leave them with a house girl they cannot communicate with. And we felt that there is this need to have interaction for older persons, because what kills older persons is loneliness. Also, when you cannot hear their views because we are now in charge of them. That was the issue we had with the household head. Older persons are no longer head of household. So even when there's a palliative directed at the head of household, it doesn't get to them because they are now an attachment. Somebody is looking after them. So these are the issues we are having with older persons, trying to make sure that older persons can relax, recreate, and we are happy with some of the objectives of this bill, of this senior citizen bill, which says it should identify the needs and opportunities for recreation, sports, education, health, social programs, and facilities for the full enjoyment of and benefit of older persons. And some of the other areas we have been very particular, and we will appeal to you at this time to help us speak to the Minister for Health. In 2018, the President gave a directive as part of the healthy aging, and 1% of the consolidated fund was made available. And that fund went to Ministry of Health and Primary Health. And the essence of that fund was to provide national non-contributory health insurance for older persons over 70 years and above. And on the part of primaries, they were to use their own portion of that to improve the community health centers so that rural old people can get better health care. Now, for the Ministry of Health, I know they are working with some of the health insurances. The intention is that before now, or up till now, when people get to the age of 60 and they are retired, their health insurance is cut off. So they retire and they don't get any payments, retirement benefits till after 4, 5, 6 months. So they have no money to go and get treated. But what the health insurance plan for the future, which I wanted to talk to your colleague in the ministry, is that when people are retiring, their health insurance will not be removed at 60 and on retirement. It will be carried on to when they are 70, and automatically they will now come into the national non-contributory health insurance. This has not been implemented. It's been delayed for 2 years now, and we are just pleading that you will help us to accelerate activities in that area so that older persons across the board, wherever they are located, once they are up to 70, can get some issues. People like me, I'm 73 now, but because I can fend for myself, I have underlying sicknesses, having been diabetic and hypertensive for more than 30 years. But there are many of our rural older persons who cannot take care of themselves. They are in our villages. Some never worked for government, so they farmed. And because they farmed, they contributed to the food basket of this country when they were younger. You know, people did different things as younger people until they get old. We are saying there is a need for them to get some health insurance and be looked after. We are also appealing to your ministry, man, and whatever you can do for older persons in terms of some financial incentive. The original programs, the traders' money, all the other ones, none of them actually, in fact, got straight to older persons. What we are appealing for is a targeted program to the older persons of Nigeria so that wherever they are located, they know that we'll get something. 1 or 2 states are trying to do something. I understand Kaduna State is trying to do something, and another state is doing something. Even if it is 5,000 naira, 2,000 naira, this older person can be able to buy their drugs and their medications. Now, I can understand the problem of identifying the older persons across the communities. That is why our organization felt that one of the projects we want to deal with is to enumerate older persons in Nigeria. We've got some retired consultants from population and the other agencies, people who have just retired, and we are talking with them. They put a package together, but we tried to source the money abroad, you know, to see if any organization can help us fund it, so that when you are planning, man, you will know the number of older persons. What we have right now are estimates. We have national estimates of older persons, but we don't have the exact numbers, because every day in this country, people are transiting to old age. All right? More and more people are getting into that 60, 70 bracket every day. And we are no longer having the life expectancy of 56 years, which WHO has proposed. Our people are living longer now because of what you know, improved diet, more awareness, more people do exercises these days. My NGO, which is a member of the coalition, we deal with healthy aging. We teach older persons how to eat right, how to exercise, how to look after themselves, their sicknesses. So more people are living more healthy, and therefore they are going into the older persons aging bracket. And Nigeria has to identify this. If you look at it now, there are no programs for older persons in this. They are not even captured when Bureau of Statistics does their statistics. Older persons are hardly captured because they put a cap on the age. Even for the women, all right? They put a cap, and therefore that's why older women are not captured in some of the statistics for the women. So we would ask that you please, as we work with you, help us to look into some of these areas. We are lucky to have been put under your ministry, and we believe that when this National Senior Citizen Center comes into effect, it will be domiciled in your ministry, and with the interest you have shown so far in the older persons, we have no doubt that older persons in Nigeria will have a good day. Thank you, ma'am, for inviting us. I know that one or two of my colleagues may have things to add, but it's a pleasure interacting with you today and your officers. Thank you all.
With the permission of the Honorable Minister,
Yes, President and others. While we support what our President has said, we also want to tell you that one of the greatest things that you're going to, the legacy you leave behind, because whatever you do, it's your name. It's this older person's bill, the implementation of it, because if you go to some other countries, South Africa and other African countries, the older person live a better life there because they go out to the pharmacy and buy drugs at a subsidized rate because they are recognized. So this is the type of thing we are thinking that should come to Nigeria. And also, when we say older person, we're not talking of retired civil servants, we're talking of even our fathers that are in the villages. So please, we want to ask you not to relent your efforts to make sure that this thing. In fact, somebody else told us that if an older person, if you know that when you retire, you're going to be buying drugs that maybe have the price and whatnot, you will be more sincere to government than creating problem or trying to do a wrong way to enrich yourself. So these are the advantages you will get from making sure that this bill comes through. Thank you, Mr.
Sorry, ma, let me repeat some. When we
Thank you very